Hey, and welcome back to the channel. We are back with another episode of 6-Pack in 6 months featuring this guy right here, Mr. Jackie O'Quinn, my better half, my husband.
Can we change it to 8 months?
No, we've got the title. We didn't bait and switching. Anyway.
I created the title, by the way, so I'm going to stick to 6 months.
That's good job, babe. Good job. So we are back with our 4-week update, and you just rolled over the month mark. So yep. Which basically means anytime you start a weight loss program and you make it past the month mark, the honeymoon it's over. And so you started at 202 pounds.
Yep.
And his first 2 weeks, we had a 2-week update. I will link that in the description box in case you missed it. You lost 14.6 pounds your first 2 weeks.
Correct. It was awesome. I felt a little bit like Batman.
I was like, you lost what? I don't think I've ever lost that much in 2 weeks. But then we made it into the second 2 weeks. So we lost any of the fake weight, any of the water weight, any of the last meal rights weight. And this last week, so total you're down 18.4 pounds, but 3.8 these past 2 weeks.
Yeah, so 2 whole weeks. 3.8 pounds.
So hold on.
Not feeling like Batman. Not feeling like Batman.
I am not laughing at you because that's still really good. But let's just be honest.
She's laughing.
When you have a 2-week stretch where you lose 14.6 pounds, and then all of a sudden in 2 weeks you lose 3.8 pounds.
Here's the worst part. I had a week in there where I lost nothing. Like I think I went down like 2/3, 3/4 of a pound, and our scale reads by 1/10 of a pound, right? Yeah. 1/10 of a pound, and when I went to weigh in, I think I still weighed the same, or maybe 1/10 down for an entire week. That's
So the honeymoon phase is that you're out of it.
Yep, I'm out of it. So the body, it's amazing how in 2 weeks I knew I was having the first 2 weeks. I knew it was a major weight loss. Like I was shocked, right?
No, you weren't acting like that. You were acting so nonchalant.
Well, anytime you've ever I've lost weight before. So anytime the first week, the first 2 weeks, here's the thing. You always kind of hit this weird plateau moment, but it's usually further down the line. Like not week 3, right? You don't like I've hit that plateau when you're trying to get in shape before, right? But not week 3, right? I was like, not now. Not now. So it was just a matter of, you know what? I had to reaffirm I'm doing everything right. I haven't cheated in any way. Like, to my knowledge, I've not had any food cheats or meal cheats. Like, we created a, and I know we haven't given you the details because it's complex. We'll get to it a little later, but we created a plan of action based on food and nutrition. So I was still, we still go out to eat as a family. We still do those things. We have, weekly obligations that we do around food. Always have our date night and our family dinner night that we have. So we create plans around that, right?
Yeah.
And these plans, long term, quit smiling.
I'm still laughing at the fact of...
Why are you smiling?
Because prior to this video, you literally acted like that 14.6 was like, man.
So, okay. Anywho, I knew this day was coming. It just came a little bit soon. So, I cannot talk about this, but you just keep looking.
I'll look at them and smile.
So, here's the thing. I had to go back and be like, okay, have I cheated on anything? I have had 0 cheats. And the whole idea was to set up a plan that you wouldn't feel like you had to cheat. So I have had 0 cheats in any way. I have not missed a workout at all. I've done all the planned workouts that I plan to do. Everything is on, and it's not like I'm working out 6 hours a day or 4 hours a day or 2 hours a day, right? But it's just it was just, I had to check myself. Okay, I'm staying on track. I'm staying on plan. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. And knowing that my body was going to start to do what it was supposed to do anyway. There's this thing that happens, and I don't know scientifically where it's proven, but it's like your body tries to hold on at some point,
Yeah, because it's you flipped a switch, right? You were holiday mode.
I was in glut mode.
And then you were just flip switch, 6-pack, 6 months, initiated. And your body was like...
I was at 19 plus, I forget, I think we said on the first video. Yeah. But I was 19+% body fat, 202 pounds, which is pretty close to the heaviest I've ever been. So it's like, yeah. And then I was glutton, right? For like 3 months. Well, I was glutton for like 3+ months. I was like killing it, right?
Really good for a month.
Like killing it.
But and just to be clear for you guys watching, so when he's saying no cheats, like there's cheats built into the plan. So there
Cheats
was
is
no
such a wrong word.
treats, whatever. There was no like everything that he ate was planned. So there was no unplanned things that
I
he
didn't
deviated
I
from.
haven't broke our nutrition plan at all.
Right.
At all, like nothing. And I'm okay with that. Like for me, give me a plan, give me structure. I know the plan works. I've seen it work so with you and so many of your clients. Like she's helped me come up with this plan. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I know the plan. I can do this, right? And the 6 months is just like, it's kind of arbitrary, but it's like we're just going to go at it for 6 months. I know we're going to get crazy results. And I just didn't expect to hit that brick wall. But 2 things have helped. One was double check myself. Am I doing everything I'm supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And then just trust the process. The body's going to do what the body's going to do. Trust the process.
So
and I also ended up having one of my largest single day weight losses in this previous 2 weeks. I know it says I'm down 3.8 pounds, but like, even though my body's still like doing this, because the past 3 days I've basically weighed the same, but I suddenly had like a 2-pound weight loss. That from one day to the next after being like,
yeah,
like
because you were excited that morning.
yeah, like that doesn't happen. Like that's not typical, right?
Right.
And so I was like, wow, the body does what the body does, and it was confirmation. Yep, the body's gonna do what the body's gonna do. Just stay the course. But the other thing is, like, we have this whole personal accountability process in place, and it really comes down to, and you've done whole trainings on this, but we call it the takeaway or whatever you want to call it, and the reward, right? So if I complete this process, there's a reward, there's a takeaway, and for me, the takeaway is bigger than the reward. I can't even tell you what I said the reward was.
So hold on, stop for a second. So so the goal was a 6-pack in 6 months, and the way he knew that there was going to be like really great weeks, like the first 2 weeks. And there's also going to be moments and inconveniences and all those things. And so it was a takeaway that if he doesn't, he says, I'm going to do X. And if I don't do X, there's a takeaway.
There's a consequence. There has to be a consequence for my failed action. If I said I'm going to do something and I don't follow through with what I said I'm going to do, there has to be a consequence. If I make a commitment to my wife and to my family and to my kids, and most importantly to myself, that I'm going to do this is my commitment, then I can't be weak and willy and wimpy and what's going to be my consequence or my takeaway, for call it what you want. And so for me, it's crazy big, and it's like life impacting to do this, and I'm like,
one of my favorite things to do is help him come up with a takeaway. It brings joy to every part of my life.
So we've been using this strategy for years, by the way.
Yeah, in every area of life, by the way, business, weight loss, whatever. And then there's also a reward that he has, but the most important part of both of those, I don't even remember what the reward was. For me, it's not even, the reward is not even important anymore. For me at this point, the reward is getting my result. Like, I'll come up with a reward. It'll be something small. Oh, I thought you were gonna take me to the spa for the day. I thought that's what you decided.
Oh yeah, that's a reward for me. You can go to the spa anyway, but I mean, it was a reward for
teasing.
So you should go to the spa you should get a reward for helping me come up with that takeaway. You should tell me what the takeaway is.
I was gonna say, are you gonna tell him? So the takeaway, the whole point of the takeaway is it has to be so severe that you would rather have somebody rip your arm off and beat you with it than have to go through the takeaway. And one of his hobbies, one of his things that he absolutely loves more than
But the takeaways, I just want to touch on that. It's important. There's 2 things that's important to the takeaway. Is when she's not saying that with a figure of speech. It has to be something almost inconceivable. Like, it cannot be something. So she's had clients that have said things like, I struggle with the takeaway because I sort of kind of already plan in my mind how I'm going to deal with it when that time comes. And the takeaway is not strong enough.
Right. Like, they're like, I really don't want to do it, but it wouldn't be that bad. No, the takeaway has to be something that when you say it, you're just like, heck no. No freaking way on God's green earth. Like, that will not, I will, again, rip my arm off and beat me with it before I let that happen. And so with that being said, he loves cigars. You love cigars. Yeah. He's a cigar aficionado, and he has a collection, Like he is a collector of fine cigars. Like he's got cigars that you can't even get, that are rare, that are, what's your oldest cigar?
My oldest is 2002.
There you go. What's the most expensive cigar you own?
It was a limited edition made in 2006 at a small event that, there was not even but a few hundred given out. It's a Fuente Sur and Eagle Opus X. Probably a couple $100.
For one cigar.
I have two though. I have two of them.
Right. So you're catching, like he doesn't, like what's in there, there's no Schwitzer Sweets in his cigar collection.
Yeah, you don't buy that at a gas station. So, but for me, this is important, right? And she says, and this is the key to the takeaway. When she first brought this to me, she said, here's your takeaway. For me, at first, it was like, no way, never. That's not going to happen. And her answer was, if it's not important enough, she said, it doesn't matter what the takeaway is unless you've already committed that you can't succeed at this. Yeah. And I think that's important. So we had to create a plan that was like, can you do this? Like, come heck or high water, less about the end result of the 6-pack. This is a plan that should get you there. Can you do the plan? Because if you can't do the plan, then what are we doing? Why are we even trying? But if you can do the plan and you know that you can do the plan, then why do you care about the takeaway? Because you're just going to do the plan, right?
Yeah.
And so her takeaway, she brought this to me, and my first response was, that's so stupid.
Yeah, he really was like, Carmen, no, get out of here.
And then she says, but remember, it doesn't matter unless you're not going to do it. And
right.
I was like, she walks out. I didn't do it in a moment. She had to walk away and let me process that a little bit. And I was like, whew. Like, it's hard. You got to process that.
So the takeaway is he has to take all of his cigars, all of them, every single one of them, and give them to his twin brother.
It doesn't really matter who it is. Give them away. This is the hard part. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I've spent years collecting these cigars.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's proud of it. Like, we've had conversations, like, this is how serious that, babe, if I pass away, if something were to happen to me, please, like, know how to take care of these. Like, save these for our son or our grandchild or somebody. Like, please do not let these just go. Like,
you can give them to my brother before and I love my brother. You can give them to my brother before they go to waste. Like, don't let that happen.
Right. Like, so this has been a serious conversation.
Yeah.
So finally, eventually, he agreed. And, but here's the thing, like, with that takeaway being so strong, even on weeks where you're not dropping, weeks where you're traveling, weeks
wait. We gotta go back for a minute. Hang on. You gotta understand the cigar thing. So this is important. So I have this cigar collection that is quite pricey, but please understand, I didn't go out and buy them that way. That's part of why they're so important to me. A lot of these cigars they've gone up in value because rarities increase because people have smoked them, and I've held on to mine in good order. So there's been a labor of love in this collection. You think I'd understand my pain.
So when you have a bad week, when you're traveling with this takeaway, is there any way that you're not going to get your activity done? Execute your plan?
No. So no, not at all. There's no way. So like, as far as our workout schedule, that sort of thing, like I pre-plan. There's literally no day that I go to work out and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do this. That never enters my mind. Now, what enters my mind is, I don't know if I feel like it today. Oh, this is going to be hard. And the next thing is like, so what? It's going to be hard. You can still do it. Just keep going. It's about, can you do it? Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing that it does from a health standpoint. A lot of times in the past, what I would do when I was working out is if I didn't have a good workout or I skipped a day or whatever, and I got behind and I was supposed to work out 5 days, but I only worked out 3 days, then all of a sudden on those 3 days, I'm really trying to push hard and really working, and that's how you get injured. Yeah. And part of what happens here is because I don't want to get injured. We have a contingency plan if injury happens. It's part of having the plan, and we can share that for you later. But for me, it's like, but avoid injury. So I work out and I push hard because I'm there. Might as well work hard while I'm there. But at the same time, I'm very careful about my most important thing is that I'm able to do this again tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Because I have had in years past trying to work out, I ended up with a back injury doing something silly like a kick in a karate type workout program. And I threw my back out. So That's the key. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to cause an injury. Let me back off a little bit. I can come back and do that another day. So in a weird way, it makes it a much better workout all the way around.
Well, and in your first 4 weeks, I mean, I know that the 3.8 didn't feel amazing, but you're down 18.4 pounds.
That's exactly what I told myself.
And I can notice just a difference. Like 4 weeks ago, his Batman shirt was like, it was tight across the chest. It was certainly tight in the stomach. Like, I've been watching your clothes even fit you better. Like I would like, wow, look at him. I touch his back and like, so you feel different. You look different.
Changes happen quick. Like small changes happen really quick.
Yeah. And even like in your stomach area right here, you can see like before there was no wrinkles right here. Now you can see wrinkles because it's not stretched out. And so, awesome job.
That sounds unattractive. Are you gonna have the picture up there of the? We should take that last picture.
Yeah, they're gonna.
She keeps showing you the transition photos. I look at the transition photos. You can see a difference.
Well, because
it is wild. Yeah, a month is wild. Like, it's wild how quick. Even though it's, you could say it's only been 3.8 pounds, but it has been 18 pounds for the entire month. It's wild to think about.
And here's the thing I love. You're not doing anything crazy. Like, you're not spending hours in the gym. You're not starving yourself. There's still certain cheats and like dates and stuff like that built into it. Like, this is something that you can not only get a 6-pack, but like you could live this lifestyle forever.
Yeah, so I'm working, and I don't mind saying I'm working out 4 days a week, about an hour. I mean, it varies, but it's right about an hour, 4 days a week. And then it's not even 30 minutes 1 day a week. That's my required workouts. Five days.
A week.
Now listen, and here's the thing. This is a serious level of commitment, but I know that I'm making a serious transformation. And so you can't want the transformation without being willing to do the work to get there. And it's just a matter of having a proven plan that I know works to get there.
And it's so funny because, you know, like him and I will talk about this. And like when you make a change like this, coming from somebody who's lost 161 pounds, went from a size 22 to a size 2, we live a fairly healthy lifestyle. We work out regularly. So this is nothing like new for our kids, right? Like they've been around this since they've been babies. And I love seeing our son this week talk about the fact of, Mom, aren't we all so proud of Dad? Like he's down there working out, like they're doing school and they're watching their father. Like they're not hearing about him talk about going towards a goal. They're not getting to hear a lecture from him on what it means to be committed. Like they're getting to see this in their dad day in and day out. What commitment looks like, bravery, like hello, like you're doing this on the YouTube. So, you know, that's like accountability to the hill. So make sure to give him some love in the comments, smash the subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of this updates. Like, listen, you're not going to want to miss this journey to 6-pack in 6 months, because in 6 months, I have no doubt we're going to be sitting here. You'll be shirtless. You'll have to be shirtless.
Okay.
Will you do it?
Well, okay. So I'll just say okay. So here's the deal. Like, this is only a month.
Yeah.
And so we still got 5 months to go, which means it's a lot of temptation. It's easy to listen. It was easy to be excited the first 2 weeks. It's easy to be excited now. So I know that I'm going to have more obstacles. So it's about just stepping up the commitment. So I think on the next update, we should drop a couple little secrets on what's going on. Because there's one thing that we're doing there's a whole part of this that, listen, I've worked off and on periodically, like probably a lot of guys. But being committed to making a change, like a drastic change that becomes a permanent change, that's different. So when I started this, I went to her because she's my fitness workout expert, and I said, so what exactly? Where have I not been serious? And she talked about this one thing, and it's so weird. It's so simple, and I thought she was crazy, but she was so right. So we should probably talk about that next time.
Next episode. So thanks for watching. We'll see you with that secret tip on the next episode.